What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison or a dupe video. I haven't done one of these in ages and I just thought it would be kind of fun to do today because I got sent out a really cool palette. Epically cool. But anyway, if you are not already, please follow me on my Instagram, which I will leave my handle here, one place or the other. I'm becoming a lot more active over there and I would love you guys to come over and interact with me and comment, and I just love chatting to you guys over there. So if that's something that you want to do, I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for taking the time out to go follow me. So the palette that we actually have in question today is the Natasha Denona. This is the gold palette. Guys, I almost died when I seen this palette, and especially the price of it. It's $130. I was lucky enough to actually get this sent to me by the brand that does the dupe, which I'm really appreciative of it, because this palette is super expensive. So this is what it looks like. It's, like I said, the gold palette, and on the inside it looks like so, which is just beautiful. Really gives me subculture vibes, like total subculture vibes. The only thing that I would say is this is more of a mustardy shade than that kind of like bright yellow that you get in the subculture palette, but I really get that kind of feel from it. I've never tried Natasha Denona palettes. I've tried their single shadows and really like them, especially the black shadow. Like the best, mattest, deepest, darkest black shadow ever. You could not find another one on the market as good as it. So I am excited to try this palette today, to be fair, but €130 is way out of my price range. Like way out, like a million years out. I would never spend that much on an eyeshadow palette. It's just not my vibe. I do not feel that. But Alter Ego, if you remember, I did a video with them comparing the Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills and their equivalent to it. Well, they have brought out the Goddess palette from Alter Ego, which is a 15 color eyeshadow palette. It's exactly the same as the Natasha Denona, and it's supposed to be a dupe for it. I'm going to test that out today and give you guys the lowdown. Brand Alter Ego have kindly given me a discount code for you guys if you do want to try out this palette as well, because it is such an affordable palette. I will leave all the information, like price, shipping, everything down below. They currently only ship to the US, but they are expanding their shipping, like the countries that they ship to, basically. But this is what the palette looks like. So this is the Alter Ego Goddess palette. Now I did open this last week and one of the eyeshadows had actually smashed, so I thought I needed to be transparent about that. I did repress it and it's perfectly fine in there, but it possibly could have fallen in transit or something like that. So obviously up top we have the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and then underneath we have the Alter Ego Goddess palette. I'm dying to see if these are a comparison. I'm going to do a tutorial obviously, and then I'm going to swatch them side by side just to compare them, and I'm really excited for this. I also love the way that the shadows are listed on this. They're not in the Natasha Denona. They do have an overlay cover that tells you the shadow names, but I just absolutely love like when the names are written underneath it, just because it makes it easier for me when I'm actually doing tutorials. I'm gonna move my hair out of my way and we're just gonna start into this. I'm gonna start by priming my eyelids, which I've been using the Infallible 24-hour concealer pomade for the last, I don't know how long. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I think it was last week I put up the L'Oreal One Brand tutorial video. So I talked about how much I like this, but I actually filmed that video maybe 2 weeks ago, and now I'm just kind of like obsessed with this. Low-key obsessed. Right, so I'm going to go in with the Natasha Denona palette to start, and I'm going to take some sort of transition. I think I'm going to go with this shade up here, up top. And I'm going to just apply that through my crease. If I can find a brush, this would be great. So I'm going to take this on my absolute favourite brush for crease work. This is the Luxe Crease 228 from Zoeva. So I'm just going to pop that straight through this. Oh my, pigmented. So I'm going to pop that straight through this eye. Through the crease rather. So I'm going to build up my crease, just adding colour more, so it's not really to like do anything. I just wanted to, because I'm probably going to put eyeshadow over it, but I just wanted to kind of define my crease a little bit. Right, so first impressions of the Natasha Denona eyeshadows is they're quite creamy and very blendable. Really easy to blend on the eyes. They're super creamy and blendable. So I'm just going to go in with the equivalent to that, which is called Hera. It's this shade here. I just wiped off this brush and I'm just going to pop this straight through the crease as well on the other eye, obviously. And it looks the same so far. Well, a little of that goes a long way. Oh my god, that blends so easy as well. Like, they really blend quite easily on the eye. I really like both those palettes so far. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in for you guys and we're going to do a little bit more work on the eye. Okay, so I'm going to go straight in with this kind of mustardy color and I'm just going to pop that over the brown. Obviously, this is in the Natasha Denona palette. Oh wow, that shade's lovely. It's really pretty. I always do that. I always apply way too much in here. I should start on the outer corner. You should start on the outside and work your way in. And I just go plop right in there. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, I think that's enough mustard. Never ever mind about the outer corners on my eyes because they always look really messy until the very end. So I'm just wiping off that brush and then I'm going to go in with Athena. Love that, Greek goddess. I'm just going to pop that through the crease again. Oh, I really like that mustard shade. It's so nice. Blends effortlessly as well. Just like the Natasha Denona. So far, I'm noticing no difference between either of them. Okay, how could I use this palette and not go in with this shade up here? So this is called Python. Absolutely stunning. It's a matte peacock green. Oh, so pretty. So I'm just picking some of this up on my brush. I'm going to apply this to the outer corner of my eye. This is obviously from the Natasha Denona. Oh my god, look at that shade. Just look. So pretty. Focus this out on the outer V. And again, not worried about being messy out here because I'll clean it up with concealer in a while. So that shadow just blends effortlessly and you can see it's so pigmented, but it doesn't take that much work to get it looking flawless. Like, I really like that green. Oh, so I just wiped off the brush. I'm going in with the Goddess palette and I'm going to go in with Gaia, this one here, which is obviously a dupe for Python. I'm just going to pop this on the outer corner, obviously. Oh my god, this is just as pigmented. I just thought maybe that was a fluke because it was from the Natasha Denona, because I feel like this shadow colour is very difficult to get right. Like, very difficult. Like, it can start looking muddy and can start looking a bit too like dark and almost looks like too black. I don't know, does that make sense of what I'm trying to say? Oh my god, I can't believe how well this is blending. I'm taking the tiniest amount of this and this is just blending so effortlessly. I feel like maybe Python is a bit more teal and this is a bit more green in it. Or maybe that's just the way I'm looking. Maybe you don't notice that. Maybe it's just my eyes are looking funny. Okay, so I want to take this like gold shade here and I'm just going to pop that on the center portion of my eye. This is the Natasha Denona one. That shade's actually called Alchemist. I am creating something quite similar to my Subculture palette look because I find that difficult to perfect. I love the Subculture, but just this is quite a different story. Both these palettes are quite epic, so I'm going to try and recreate what I usually do with my Subculture and see how we get on. So I'm going to pop gold, or that gold Alchemist shade in here. Oh my god, is that not stunning? Stunning. So just want to blend that back and forth into the teal as well so that there's no harsh lines. These shades are incredible. They just blend like a dream. So the equivalent shade from the Goddess palette is Lysa. So I'm just going to pop that in the same position. Oh my god, this is just as pigmented. This palette is insane. Like, insane. And it's $17 and it is identical to a high-end, and I mean like high-end, $130 palette. This is unbelievable. Probably like my favorite palettes that I've tried in the longest time. They are so beautiful. So I'm going to take the shade Lime Chrome, this one here, which is a duochrome, you can see. I was thinking of this one, but it might be too chunky, so I'm going to go in with Lime Chrome. I'm just going to pop that into the inner portion of my eye. This is, again, Natasha Denona. This is like Subculture on like steroids, and this is exactly what I've always wanted from Subculture but never got, and now I have it from Natasha Denona and the Goddess palette because this is just epic. So the equivalent in this palette is Cassandra down here in the corner. I'm just going to pop that again into the inner corner of my eye. Like, I just cannot deal with the pigmentation of these shadows. Like, it's just, they're so legit. And they're 1,000,000% dupes for each other. So for the inner corner, I'm going to take the shade Sparks from Natasha Denona. I'm going to pop that right in there. Oh, wow, that's really chunky. But I like it. And then using my Goddess palette, I'm going to take Freya down here in the corner. Just go in there. That. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I just want to finish off underneath the eyes, and I'm going to take the Natasha Denona palette first, and I'm going to go back in with that kind of mustardy shade here in the end. I'm just going to like run that along the whole of my lower lashes. Hang on. Then I'm going to go into the Goddess palette and take Athena again, and just do the same thing on this eye. Now I'm going to take Python on the Natasha Denona side, which is the beautiful teal green. And I'm just going to pop that out here. That's to kind of match up the top of my eyes with underneath. I'm just going to take Gaia on this palette, the Goddess one, and just do the same thing. And then I'm just going to go in with the gold shade, Alchemist, from the Natasha Denona, and just pop that beside the green. Then go in with Lysa on this eye. Oh god, I got that in my waterline. That looks funny. And then finally I'm going to take Cassandra from the Goddess palette and pop that in there. And go in with Lime Chrome from Natasha Denona. Okay, so this is the completed eye look. I'm really happy with it. I'm super impressed with both of these palettes. 1,000,000% they are dupes. Like 1,000,000%. Like, I think I've gotten the exact same look on this eye as I did on this. They blend the same. They perform the same. They're as easy to work with. And I'm just really loving the quality of both of these palettes. So I will swatch all of so I will obviously swatch both palettes just as a comparison so you can see which shades dupe which. I just want to kind of briefly talk about the Goddess palette a little bit more. I feel like this is definitely up there with one of the best eyeshadow palettes that I own. It has really beautiful chocolate browns, and I just feel like it's very diverse. I know the Natasha Denona gold palette is not anything like Subculture, but I feel like that's what Subculture, or what I wanted from ABH Subculture. I always wanted a palette like that you could kind of dip in and out of. Like, I feel like Subculture was just a one-man show. I could only do like maybe a few different looks with it, whereas I feel like with the Goddess palette I can do so many different looks. The only thing it is missing is like an under eye or an underbrow shadow, like for a highlighter. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like that's the only thing that's missing from the entire palette, but the shades are just absolutely beautiful. There's so much diversity in this. You can go from like a warm gold chocolatey brown eyeshadow look, or you could do like a deep like matte brown look, or you can add like I did with the teals and the greens, and there's just so much in this palette. Like, I really, really love this palette, and like I said, it's $17. Happy days. Obviously the Natasha Denona palette, I'm pretty impressed with that, and I really like the shades of it, and I just think the quality of them are quite outstanding, especially since it's like the first palette I've ever tried of theirs. I really, really, really liked it, but I would never in a month of Sundays purchase that palette for $130. That is just no, like, no way. No way, Jose, not on your life. Whereas this one I would purchase over and over and over again, and I highly recommend it to you guys. I love the quality of the shades. I love how blendable they are. I just loved the look that I achieved with it. Like, I just think that this palette is up there with one of the best. Like, I absolutely love it. There's some of the shades. Oh god, they're just so pretty, and just the way it blended on my eyes. I didn't have any problems with like choppiness or the shadows not blending properly or being patchy or anything like that. I just feel like the shades are quite buttery, creamy, really easy to blend. And I just feel like this eyeshadow palette is probably going to be a go-to for me. I actually will probably use this one more, especially if I'm traveling and stuff, because I'd be terrified if anything happened to the other one. I just feel like for the price of it, I couldn't justify it and even bringing it away or anything like that on holidays. And if anything happened or it got lost or smashed or anything, I'd be devastated. Whereas I feel like this one gives me all the same quality as Natasha Denona, and it's a lot more affordable, and the packaging is way smaller as well, like, so it's just even more convenient. Like, you can see them side by side, like, it's just much more convenient. This is the second palette I've ever tried from Alter Ego, and I'm so impressed with them, guys. I just think that the brand as a whole is brilliant, and I know some people kind of give shade and stuff like that to like brands that kind of imitate higher end products, but to be fair, like $130 is a lot, so I do think that the imitation is warranted in this case. So that is all I have to say on both palettes. So if you guys want to see the comparison of both palettes, I'm gonna do that now for you guys. This is what the Natasha Denona palette looks like. So beautiful. And this is the Alter Ego Goddess palette, also equally beautiful. So I'm going to swatch Natasha Denona this way, and then obviously that way, and then do the corresponding shades from the Alter Ego palette. So I'm going to start off with Lime Chrome. And then the Goddess one is Cassandra, and I use that on my eye. Just realised I'm really far away. So that's Cassandra. Just going to build that up a wee bit. I don't know if you can see them there. They're kind of hard to see, but they're very similar. Next up, I have Python from Natasha Denona. And then I'm going to do Gaia from the Alter Ego palette. So I did think that they looked a little bit different on the eye. They do look similar swatch, but I can see that this definitely has a bit more green in it. I don't know. I can see that even on my eye. It's not really noticeable. Next up we have Sparks. This is quite chunky, so I just want to get a good swatch of this. I don't even know if you'll be able to see that. I'll just build it up for you. It's just like a really chunky kind of glitter. And then from the Alter Ego, I've got Freya. I'll just build that up for you guys. So I think they're kind of like the most trickiest shades to use in the palette. They just don't swatch easily, so you have to use like something underneath them to kind of get them to stick. Then I've got Aria. I'm just going to swatch that one there. And the equivalent to that is Hera from the Alter Ego. So I think that those two look a little bit similar, but I feel like Hera is a little bit cooler than Aria, just in my opinion. Next I've got Kava. Again, it's like kind of another chunky gold shade. And its equivalent is Pandora. Again, another chunky gold. They're very similar. Like, they're almost identical, those two. So that's the first row. So next up, I've got Aurora. Oh my god, this is like a mermaid blue. Oh my god, that's so pretty. I actually am in love with that shade. And from this Alter Ego palette, it's Artemis. They are very, very similar. I would say Artemis is even like better quality than the one from the Natasha Denona. Then we've got Dijon, which is a great name because it's a mustard shade. That's it there. And Athena, which is my sister's favorite goddess. So they are a little bit different. I would say Athena is a little bit more mustard than Dijon, and I actually prefer this shade to that one. So they are just a little bit different. So next up we've got Oro. Oh my god. Wow, that shade is incredible. And the equivalent to it here is Venus, which is down here. Here we go. Wow. Oh my god, those shades are gorgeous. I would say that this one is a little bit chunkier than the Alter Ego palette. Next up is Log. That's quite a dark brown. And from Alter Ego we've got Avalon. So they are very similar, but I would say that Avalon is a little bit warmer. Or maybe if I build it up, maybe they're just the same. Maybe it was just the swatch itself. Yeah, no, they're definitely, that's a little bit on the warmer side. I don't know if that's evident on camera. So next up we've got Varys. What's with the Game of Thrones names? So I'm going to swatch that one there. Oh my god, that's a beautiful bronze shade. And its dupe is Aura. Okay, they are identical. Like, I couldn't find a difference between them two if I tried. They're the exact same colour. All the shades are super similar. And the quality is amazing. So next up we have Brass down here. Now this is quite a chunky shade as well. It's a really nice shade as well. We have Valkyrie. Oh my god, my battery just ran out. I just swatched them. So those two are very, very similar. Next up I've got Sandstone. It's just quite a nice warm brown. And its equivalent is Iris. So that's Iris there. And they are very similar, almost identical. Next we've got Alchemist, which I used on my eye. I love this shade. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Equivalent is Lysa. They are so similar. All of those shades are really alike. Second last shade is Teak. And then the equivalent from this palette is Juno. There's a little bit of a difference between them. I think that's more of like a true brown and that one's kind of a little bit warmer. This shade here is the final shade. It's called Arum. A-U-R-U-M. I don't know, I can't even pronounce that. I'm just going to build that shade up there a little bit as well so you can see it. And then its shade is this one here that I broke, or that broke on me, which is called Luna. I'm just going to swatch that beside it there. Oops. So there you go. They all look quite similar. I think these are the only two shades that are kind of a bit off. But there you go. That's the complete Goddess palette. I am so obsessed with this. I just think it is so pretty. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the swatch portion, the tutorial portion, the comparison. And let me know if you guys are going to pick up the Goddess palette. And if you do, I'd love to see some of your looks on Instagram. You can tag me or whatever. And yeah, I think that's all I need to chat to you guys about. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And subscribe if you're not already. Go follow me on my social media, usual. Anyway, I think that's all I want to say today. So I'm going to check out now and I will talk to all you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye!